Now that the base of the trousers are done, we can add the design detail for the garment. In this lesson, we show how to construct the different pockets of the trouser. We have 3 types of pockets for this garment: the jetted coin pocket with a flap, the side pocket, and the back jetted pocket. We covered how to create welt pockets in the Garment Creation 201 course, so we highly recommend that you try to construct the coin pocket and back pocket before watching the rest of this video. If you would like to give it a try, pause the video here. Before we start, we assign different colors to the different pocket patterns so that it's easier to identify them. We assign different colors to the top and bottom pocket bags. The facing can be the same color. To create the coin pocket, the first step is to create a hole on the pants pattern. There is already a marking on the front pants on the position of the pocket. To create a hole, we select the shape, then go to the context view and click Convert Internal Line. There should be a hole option in the drop-down. If there is no hole option, it means that the shape is not closed. To fix this, we disable Pieces and enable Edit Points in the 2D window. Then we select the internal lines. We need to look for the part of the shape where the shape is not closed. Normally, a small square point is displayed when hovering over the edges. This is where the shape is not closed. We click on a point, then do a marquee select over the points we have identified. On the context view, we click Join to close the shape. Now we select the shape. We are able to convert it to a hole. Let's have a look at the jetted pocket patterns and pocket flap. We'll adjust the 3D layers for these patterns first. The pocket flap is to be stitched under the top jetted coin pocket. Since the front leg pattern is layer 4, the lowest layer for the jetted welt pocket pattern would be 5. Then the flap would be 6. The pattern that we stitched above the flap would be layer 7. Great! The next step is to arrange and stitch the patterns. We add the patterns and arrange them in the same cluster as the front right leg pattern. To make it easier to adjust the patterns, we create a separate cluster for the pocket patterns. Then we change the cluster to a flat cluster type. We adjust the position of the cluster in the 3D window. Now we stitch. We use multi-stitch to stitch the sides of the pocket. And we use single stitch for the rest of the edges. The pocket flap needs to be stitched to the top edge of the top welt pattern. We stitch down the lower edge to the internal line on the pocket flap. To close the pocket, we stitch the bottom welt pocket to the internal line on the pocket flap as well. We simulate the pockets. This looks great. If you need more time to construct the coin pocket, pause the video here. For the side pockets, we have already stitched the pocket facing. In the 2D window, the top and bottom pocket bag are displayed. We are missing one pattern, which is the facing that attaches to the pocket opening on the front leg patterns. On the pocket facing, we are going to extract this portion out. Then we create X symmetry for the other side. Take a look at this diagram to have an understanding about how the pocket is constructed. The bottom pocket bag is stitched to this facing. Then the top bag is stitched to the new facing we have extracted. Then the edges of the top and bottom pocket bags are stitched, including the parts where the facing overlaps. Lastly, this edge of the pocket facing is stitched to the pocket opening on the leg pattern. Now that we understand how the patterns will be stitched, we can adjust the 3D layers. The bottom pocket facing needs to be a layer lower than the top pocket facing and bag. We adjust the top pocket bag and pocket facing to be layer 3. The bottom pocket facing and bag can remain at layer 2. We also need to adjust the layers on the other side of the trouser. Next, we arrange the patterns. We align the patterns first before we drag them into the clusters. Now we stitch the patterns. We stitch the pocket bags to the pocket facings. We stitch the top edges of the top pocket facing and bag to the top and bottom pocket facing and bag. Then we stitch the top pocket facing to the pocket opening. We stitch the pocket bags together, as well as these edges on the pocket facings. Now we dress the pocket. We need to secure the top of the pocket bag and facing to the top of the waistline. Previously, we stitched part of the pocket facing to the waistline of the pants. We want to delete it and instead stitch the top facing to the waistline. This is to avoid puckering around the waistline. We also want to stitch the top pocket bag to the waistline to secure it. Previously, we stitched the pocket closed. Instead of deleting the stitch, we can keep it and release the stitch slightly. This makes the pocket opening not open up too much. We can always remove the stitch later if we're not happy with the fit. Great! You can pause the video here to complete the side pockets. The first step is to create the hole on the back pattern and the pocket bag. We use the same method as we did for the coin pocket to create the hole. We need to create the jetted pocket patterns for the back, as these were not created. We check the measurements of the hole. It is 1.28 centimeters in height and 13 centimeters in length. With the Insert tool, we insert a rectangle that is 13 centimeters by 0.64 centimeters, which is half of the height of the hole. Now we clone the pattern so we have the top and bottom pattern. We want to create X symmetry for the other side of the trouser. Next, we adjust the 3D layers of the pocket patterns. The jetted pocket patterns have to be a layer higher than the back leg patterns, so we adjust them to a layer 5. The pocket bags can remain at layer 2. When we are done, we adjust the layers on the other side. We want to arrange the patterns into the clusters. We only arrange the pocket bags and the jetted pocket patterns. The pocket facing will be attached, so there is no need to arrange in the clusters. But we must ensure that Use in 3D is enabled for these patterns. The pocket bag needs to be folded up instead of having two separate pieces. We want to add a fold line on the pocket bags. There are corner points to mark the fold position. We select the line, then go to the Context view under Line Properties and select Fold. Then, we adjust the fold direction and the fold type to sharp. The part of the pocket bag with the hole should be closer to the leg patterns, so we adjust the prepare angle to a negative value if needed. Now we're ready to stitch. We stitch the two openings of the holes together. Then, we stitch the jetted patterns to the hole on the back leg pattern. We stitch the pocket bag closed. Next, we attach the top of the pocket bag to the waistline. We stitch them to the waistline and ensure that we adjust the stitch lengths to match. Now we allow the pocket to simulate. We may require to use the styling tools to adjust the pocket bag patterns. The last step is to attach the back pocket facing to the pocket bag. After we have attached to one side, we move the attachment inside so that it sits inside the pocket bag. Then we magic mirror it to the symmetrical side. We allow the garment to simulate and use the styling tool to adjust the simulation of the trousers. If the welt pockets are not sitting nicely, we can temporarily stitch them closed. This part is complete. We have almost finished the trousers. We recommend that you take some time to analyze the video and the file to familiarize yourself with the pocket creation workflows. Every pocket may be slightly different, but they have similar features, so we can always apply similar methods to other garments with pockets. Don't forget to save your file before moving on to the next lesson.